Hi, this is Terry Simon, President of inLOOP. I would like to tell you about our products and our business. We provide induction loop equipment to people that are hard of hearing around the United States and Canada. Our products are designed and built in the United States for our systems, for our way of life. Most loop equipment that is being sold and used in the United States today is designed for the European market, and it's basically an audio amplifier that has been modified to support a loop signal. inLOOP took a fresh approach. We designed a true loop amplifier without using an audio amplifier as our model. Our product provides a clearer signal using less components, which makes it more economical and also gives us the ability to build it in the United States. I've been told by some manufacturers how beautiful their cases are or how bright their lights are. And the reality of this product is that it's not a showpiece. It's not something that you're going to put out as a piece of artwork. It's something that has to be functional and almost invisible. So the cosmetic design of our product was very carefully considered. When we made the case for the basic loop driver, we wanted to make sure that we had something that was cosmetically pleasing, but didn't stand out when you stuck it on a shelf. We made sure that all of the controls were accessible, but not necessarily in the line of sight of the user. All of the connections are on the bottom of the unit so that none of the wires are visible. Let's take a look at the basic loop amplifier. Obviously, the most important point is a very clear, distinct signal. Our circuit board design uses fewer components than any other loop amplifier on the market. The reasoning for this is that we are not trying to take an audio signal and create a loop signal from it. We are actually creating a loop signal in the purest form, and we end up with a system that is much more like a Bose radio than a car stereo. The signal is clear and distinct and very easily understood by the hearing aid user. A very important consideration in any sort of an amplifier is the dissipation of heat. The design of the heat dissipation system, or heat sink, is critical to the operation of the loop amplifier. There are a number of ways of accomplishing this, from actually taking a piece of metal and attaching it to the loop amplifier so that it will radiate heat, to actually designing the case of the product and attaching the loop amplifier so that it dissipates heat to the outside through the case. The critical thing that has been missed in a lot of amplifier designs is that the heatsink is actually supposed to be designed to maintain the heat in the amplifier, not necessarily just to dissipate it. So in the design of a lot of other products, the case ends up being very large and effectively cools the amplifier. The problem is that it cools it too much. The amplifier chip that's used in most loop amplifiers is supposed to be maintained at 140 degrees. So if the heatsink is too large, it will actually overcool the unit and make the loop amplifier inefficient and possibly even create static in the loop signal. We spent months just designing this simple little heatsink to make sure that it kept the temperature of the loop amplifier exactly at the manufacturer's specification. The heatsink on our product is not designed to be impressive looking. It's designed to cool the amplifier chip to the exact temperature that the manufacturer suggests. The other important consideration is to design a case that will allow the heat to leave the amplifier without alarming the user, because these do run at 160 degrees, 145 to 160 degrees, and if you touch a metal case that is that temperature, it's going to be alarming. Or if you make a metal case that has slots in the top and somebody puts a book over the top of it, now you're trapping the heat inside of the loop amplifier, which is not good for the amplifier chip itself. We designed our case to completely enclose the heatsink and make it so that it is not able to be touched by the user. And no matter what you do with this case, if you were to set it like this and cover it with a book, if you were to lay it on its side up against a wall and cover the front, no matter what you do to this case, there is always an air opening that will allow air to circulate through the case and effectively cool the amplifier inside the loop driver. Trying to figure out which type of wire connection we were going to use was a very difficult choice. If the installer uses the wrong size wire, he can create a bad loop signal. Our system is very simple, but the loop connections are fairly small. The reason for this is that you can only use the exact right size wire that is designed to be used with this loop amplifier. With our system, you can use the 3 different wires that will work effectively with this loop amplifier. If the wire needs to be removed or reinstalled, it's as simple as inserting the tool in the wire and pulling the wire free. The packaging is important for a couple of different reasons. It has to be durable enough to make it through the postal system and protect the product until it's in the hands of the customer. It also has to be attractive and easy to open. Our product is packaged in a round tube for maximum protection during shipping, but also for ease of opening for elderly people. It's just a matter of pulling up on the plastic lip and removing the top. The loop driver is manufactured inside of a watertight plastic bag, completely assembled, so that all the customer has to do is open the plastic, lay the product on the chair, put the microphone on the television, and they have a loop system completely installed and working in just a matter of minutes. If you evaluate the design of the product and consider the quality of the signal, you'll be amazed that you're buying an American-made product that is comparably priced to anything that can be imported from China. Thank you for taking the time to let me explain why we have the best product on the market.